Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Unanticipated Livestream. I wanted to put this together this evening and hopefully bring everyone in to discuss a little bit about what's going on in YouTube and talk a little bit about what I'm planning on doing upcoming in my channel. And there's Joe Morgan. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. Just so everyone knows, there's not going to be a video coming up this week. Hello, Wade. Thanks for joining. I went out today to try to record or produce rather a midweek update, and I ran into some technical difficulties, and I was not able to do that. And next weekend coming up, I've got a bunch of things going on. It's my daughter's junior prom, and also my son's getting married this coming weekend, next weekend. So with all of that going on, plus some work and some other things, I'm really not going to be able to put together a video coming up for this coming week, either the midweek update on Wednesday or the following Saturday. So because of all that, I wanted to let you know what was going on and also get together for a live stream this evening, see how everyone's doing, and just have a little bit of a hopeful discussion. And so far, we've got, as I said, Joe Morgan is here. Wade is here. Thanks for joining, Wade. Luke B is here. Hot 8, thank you for joining us. Logica Redu, thanks again. And Jeff Tim is here. Jeff, I'm envious of Jeff because he lives in Florida, and it seems like every time he tunes in, he talks about what great weather they're having down there. It's cold here again today. The wind is blowing, and I would love to be in Florida just so it's a little bit warmer. Tadix Legion is here. And yeah, a little bit of a surprise this evening. I didn't put out an announcement for this or anything. I just thought I would let everyone know what's going on. Barry Grant is here. Whimsy Maker is here. Joe Palou is here. So again, it looks like we got a lot of regulars tuning in. Thank you very much for joining us. Here's a quick question for HR or anyone else. Shooting experience with Golden Tiger 223. I have absolutely no experience with it whatsoever, so I'm sorry I can't give you any information on that. I wish I could, but unfortunately I cannot. Donald Day is here. Says, hello, Chief. Hope this finds you well. It does. I'm doing very well this evening. Luke B, specifically any issues with, okay, he's talking about the Golden Tiger ammunition. Jeff Tim says it's going to be a great range week. Hope to take advantage of new pistol, new rifle, etc. And again, Jeff is enjoying some very good weather there in Florida. Congratulations, Jeff. Understand those of us up here in the northern part of the country are not having quite such good weather. Excuse me, for some reason I had a frog in my throat there. Joe Morgan says that Ruger SR22 is nice. Had a great time teaching his cousin. That's good, Joe. I'm glad you're able to get your cousin out. That was tremendous. I know you mentioned that yesterday in the live chat with the premiere. Good for you. Good for your cousin. I'm glad you had a good time. Paul Woodall says, good evening. Good evening, Paul. Luke B picked up half a case of that ammunition. Heard they can have hard primers. Again, sorry. Wish I could give you some information on that, but I really don't have any experience with it whatsoever. Logica Redu bought his wife a Shield 380 EZ. How's she like that, Logica? I'm curious about that. I looked at one of those one time. I handled it. I never shot one. It doesn't really look like something that I would want to have for myself. But I know there are a lot of people that have a lot of interest in those, so I'd be curious to know or to hear what your wife thinks of that and what you think of it as well. And I'm working my way back down the feed here. Tacticus Legion 78 found a unicorn of unicorns yesterday. A Steyr M9 for $6.99. You know what? I had a chance to buy a Steyr M9 about a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago, and it was a ridiculously low price. It was like $299 or something like that at a gun show. It was used, but I wish I had bought that because I've had so many people. Oh, thank you, Sam Flynn, just kicked in a $5 donation. I appreciate that. Says like Tony the Tiger, I'm great, or you're great. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that very much. But to finish a thought, I had a chance to buy a Steyr M9. Wish I had picked that up. It was an older one, but still, I would like to have tried that just to see what I thought of it. There are so many people that really, really like those, and I wish I could have chimed in to give you my own thoughts. But of course, I passed on it at that gun show and have not seen another one since then. Again, looking back down through the feed here. C. Lowe says, my oldest son is turning 10 next month. Waiting to get him his first 22. Hoping to find a CZ 457 Scout or any other bolt action suggestions. I had a CZ 457. Yeah, it was 457. Varmint for a long time. What a great rifle that was. So if you're looking at the CZ 22s, I think that's a great option. I got my daughter a Cricket 22 rifle. In fact, it's in the safe behind me still. When she was much younger, I think she was 6 or 7 when I got that. That's also a great option for the youngsters because they're so small and pretty much just the right proportions for them to be able to handle. And again, looking back down through the feed here, Logic Reduce says Smith & Wesson 380 EZ, but apparently it hasn't arrived yet. So too bad. Again, when you get that, let me know what you think of it and what your wife thinks of it. I'm curious. Cat Hat says, I love this channel. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the kind words. CJ says, hello, Mr. HR Funk and everyone. Thanks for joining us, CJ. I appreciate it. And you can see CJ is a member of the channel. All of you who have joined the channel as members, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's a tremendous vote of confidence. And and Mike Thomas is here. Thanks for joining, Mike. I appreciate you chiming in. Thank you for the $10 donation. I really, really appreciate it. I was just talking about the channel members, and thanks to all of you who have joined as members. I can't tell you how much that humbles me and how much I appreciate that. Just the vote of support from all of you is tremendous. Thank you very much. And I'm going back down through the feed here to try to find where I was before. And I'm having a hard time finding where I was before. Tactics Legion is talking to C. Lowe. Mr. Firebird V8 is here. Says, I like your videos. Interesting your name is Mr. Firebird V8. My very first car ever was a 1969 Firebird. It was a piece of junk. It was pretty much worn out by the time I got it. I thought it was a race car. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. But when I saw your screen name there, it reminded me of that. In a lot of ways, I wish I still had that car. Ben Crane is here. Thanks for joining us, Ben. I appreciate you joining in as well. Old Spice 1 got my grandson a Cricket and upgraded to a Savage Rascal. Now my granddaughter's turn. She's 6 years old. Hopefully she's starting out with that Cricket because that's going to be just about perfect for a 6-year-old. I think my daughter was 6 when I got her the Cricket. Jeff Tim, good pistol for under $400 in today's market. And if you're a vet, the Glock 42 and 43 are just less than $400 at the Blue Label price. Joe Morgan, if you're just starting out in today's day and age, needed a handgun or a revolver, would be as relevant as they were 20 years ago. I agree. Average Guy is here, says howdy from Kansas. Howdy, Average Guy. Joe Morgan says he's trying to stump HR. That doesn't take a lot of work, Joe, just so you know. I'm not that hard to stump. Maine AR is here, says hello from Maine. Hello, thank you for joining us. And for any of you that weren't around at the very beginning when I first kicked things off, this is the Unanticipated Livestream. And the reason I decided to do this evening is because I'm not going to have a video coming up this week. I'm not going to have a midweek update on Wednesday, and I'm not going to have a video next Saturday for a variety of reasons. The biggest things are next weekend, especially, it's my daughter's junior prom, and my son is getting married. So it's going to be a busy weekend for me. And because of that, and because of some of the other things going on, I didn't get videos out. So I decided to do the live stream this evening. Mike Thomas has the 380 EZ. Fun little gun, but a little bit ammo picky. That's interesting. I had not heard that before, that it was ammo picky. Usually the shields, the 9mm shields and the other caliber shields run very, very well with almost any ammunition. So I'm surprised to hear that the 380 EZ is a little bit on the picky side. Joe Morgan is laughing at me. Palindrome Picture says, I carry a revolver every day. Ruger LCR 327 Federal Magnum. Good for you. Just as effective today as they ever were. They probably don't get the attention they deserve because so many people are focused on the semi-auto side of things, but still a good wheel gun is an absolutely great defensive option. Travis Chapin is here, says, hello, Chief. How are you? I'm doing well this evening. Thanks for joining us, Travis. Joe Morgan says he's talking to Mike Thomas about looking at 380 EZ. Scott Person is here. Thanks for joining us, Scott. And he is saying, any thoughts on why the CZ Rami never sold well in the U.S.? Not really, other than there are so many other options out there that are about the same size. Also, I think the double action, single action options out there are becoming somewhat less popular with people that are buying firearms these days. Now, I don't think that's necessarily warranted. I think they're still a good option. But I think so many people want to go with something that has the consistent trigger, like the Glocks, like the M&Ps, whatever else is out there. And that, along with the other competitive options to the Rami, probably are the reason that it's not become more popular. Although I think they're kind of cool little pistols, just FYI. And let me find where I was here. Old Spice 1, have you tried out the Kel-Tec P1722? No, I have not. And I would like to try more Kel-Tec firearms. I've got the Sub 2000, which has been a really good performer for me. And I've told the story before, years ago, there were people in my department that got the Kel-Tec P11, I believe it was. And I thought that thing was a piece of junk. I saw more people have more problems with it on the range when I was trying to get them qualified, and I didn't want anything to do with CZ products for about 20 years until I finally bought the Sub 2000, which has been a great, great firearm. And that's really gotten me to the point where I would like to try more CZ firearm, or not CZ, but more Kel-Tec firearms, and see what I think of them. But so far, the Sub 2000 is the only one I have. Hopefully, I can get some more Kel-Tec firearms in the future to try them out and see what I think of them. Ben Crane, what's the Unfire? Glad you asked, Ben. The unfiring replica, this is a non-firing replica tonight for this live stream, is a non-firing replica of the Browning High Power Practical. How cool is that? Too bad it doesn't actually function, but it is an extremely cool firearm. I'm a big fan of the high power, and this is an extremely cool non-firing replica of the Browning High Power Practical. And Average Guy says, I'm a high power rifleman. Your vids and results are similar to mine. Thanks for keeping it real. You're welcome. I try to give you folks the data that I get as I collect it and don't sugarcoat it or change anything that comes in that I see. So I'm glad you appreciate that. John Craig, please support Recall Newsom. We are begging you. Okay. Joe Morgan says revolvers are fun. However, someone growing up now might not like the prices of them. So many striker fired guns out there. Revolvers are a lot of nostalgia too. That's probably true, but especially for someone that shot semi-autos exclusively, to shoot revolvers is just a more relaxing type of shooting, and it's fun. It's a little bit different, and I think there are probably a lot of people out there still who would be very well served by a good double action revolver. The semi-autos are fine, no problem whatsoever. I own a lot of semi-autos. I like a lot of semi-autos, but there are still a lot of good wheel guns out there. Peter, at this time, I had a chance to check out a Sky a while back, and it seemed like a pretty decent little pistol for the money. Scott Person, I have an FM High Point that does not function. Those darn non-functioning firearms. Palindrome Pictures, non-firing guns are great to have at home, so the thieves steal them and leave the safe alone. That's true. Bill Edmond, love the Browning High Power myself, also the 1911. And they're so closely related. Usually people that like one like the other. Gary Wood, have one, was cleaning it last night. Good. Good for you. Ben Crane, that high power is so so dirty, sexy that you couldn't take it home to meet my. Yeah, that's true. Jared Duke just wanted to stop by and say that you and Gun Blue 490 have excellent channels. Thank you very much, Jared. I appreciate you saying that. Rich Powers is here, says, hello, HR. Missed the beginning. And that's okay. I just kicked things off a little after 7. I'm not sure just exactly what time it was, so you haven't missed a whole lot. Joe Morgan is talking to CJ. Travis Chapin, what's your thoughts on the CZ taking over Colt? I've been asked that before, and I'm cautiously optimistic about that. I mean, CZ is such a good, well-established brand already in the firearms industry. I'm hoping that their leadership and their affiliation with Colt really helps to revitalize Colt and keep that fine, traditional, old American firearms company going. Old Spice 1, I was skeptical. Okay, he's talking to Joe. And I'm trying to find comments coming back to me at this point. Tacticus Legion 78, advantage of the revolver with a semi-auto, easier to hang on to brass instead of scrounging all over the ground. That's true. It does make it a lot easier to keep track of your brass than trying to find it all over the place after you're done shooting for a day on the range. John Craig, please support our efforts. Wait a minute, where'd that go? support our efforts to recall Governor Newsom. And all of you in California, please take note of that. Steel and Wood says, Chief, I have watched your videos for a couple of years, but just now commented on your first live stream for the first time. Live stream, sorry about that. Thank you for taking all. You're welcome. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for joining us this evening. I appreciate that. Can try out from being from Virginia and now living in Georgia. It's interesting to me to shoot these quals just to see what these standards are. Good, and I'm glad you enjoyed that. All of you who have followed the qualification series and shot the courses on your own, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope you've gotten something from that. If you didn't see my retrospective on that series, you might want to go back and watch it, because I talk about a lot of the things that went into that. It's interesting that my final wrap-up video for that series did pretty well in terms of views. And then when I did the retrospective talking about the series and everything that went into it, it's not done as well. So it's just kind of odd what does well on YouTube and what does not. Average guy, never forget to smile. Your grins make my day. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Second day dad says, sorry, I got here late. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you have a blessed week. Thank you very much. Skip Boyer is here. So glad you're reporting for the brand now. Skip is giving me a hard time. I had issued a Glock pistol at this point in my life, and I have to carry that every day. And those of you who have watched the videos and follow my channel know I'm not a big fan of the Glock pistol, but that's now what I have to carry every day, and Skip is giving me a hard time about it. Silver Gabe Naas says, nice haircut. Thank you very much. Actually, I need to get a haircut. It's getting a little bit long right now. Palindrome Pictures, so glad Ruger got Marlin, because they are two of my favorite brands. And I'm really keeping my fingers crossed and hoping for good things for Marlin now that Ruger has taken them over. Let's hope for the best and see what comes from them in the months and years to come. KJ Stanley is here, says just got the notice. Better late than never. I'm glad you made it. Ben Crane, my dad went to carrying a revolver after he started having to walk with a cane. I didn't want to have to clear a malfunction and hold on to his cane. And I hope that worked well for him, Ben. Doverman 45 Ben says, was rewatching your M1 videos earlier today. Oops, and it just got a little too far away. Hopes to pick one up in the near future. Don't wait too long. They are getting fewer and farther between. The prices are going up and up and up. So definitely grab yourself an M1 if you come across a good one. Travis Chapin, thank you for your opinion. I agree. Good. Thank you very much. Jared Dupe, only American manufacturers that he's fond of anymore are Ruger and Wyndham Weaponry and the new Ithaca. I would like to get a Wyndham Weaponry firearm into review. I'm kind of a fan of that company and their story, and I would really like to try out one of their firearms. I've talked to them before, or folks from that factory at the NRA annual meeting, and just a cool company. I would really like to get in something from them to try out. Travis Chapin, do you think Remington will make a full comeback? I don't know. I hope they do. I would like to see that, but I really don't know. Scott Person, are you going to take the winning 5 guns and do an overall winner? I've been asked that before, and I actually started looking at the top 5 firearm, or not the top 5, but I started looking at my firearms the other day that were used in that series, and I couldn't even pick my favorite one of the first group of 10, let alone try to come out with a favorite one of all the entire series. So maybe I'll put it out to all of you for a vote and see what everybody comes up with. And try to find where I was. It's skipping a little bit. I got so many people coming in here. I have to back up a little bit to see where I was. So which state has the best course? You must not have seen the wrap-up video. Pennsylvania came out with the best course in the country. I thought they had a tremendous course, specifically because they had judgmental aspects and they had sections where the officer had to respond to what was going on in the stage rather than just fire robotically. I thought that it was tremendous, and they came out with the best course in the country. Bill Edmond, the Qualification series was the best video group I've watched. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you saying that. Dale Kidd is here. Thanks for joining us, Dale. Says, good evening, Chief. Blast notification didn't come in for 20 minutes. Sorry about that, Dale. YouTube, you know, I always hope for the best and keep my fingers crossed and everything else, but it seems like people get late notices or no notices. Sometimes I'll have people, you know, a week or so after a live stream has aired that say, hey, they never got the notice and they finally came across it and they wish they'd been there. So I'm glad you at least made it for this part, Dale. McFasto is here. Thank you very much for joining us. Jeff Sams is also here. McFasto just transitioned to a Glock as well. Millimeter, major difference. Absolutely. You get a little bit more controllability with the 9mm. And the Glock that I'm issued is a Glock 19, so I'm kind of in the same boat as you. But it's a Glock, and I just have to grit my teeth and bear it. Steel and Wood, do you have any opinions on the AR-10 versus AR-15? For the 308 being that it's more powerful round. In the AR platform, I personally prefer the AR-15. That said, when it comes to the 308 round, I like other platforms for that. I've fired the AR-10 style rifles, and I don't know, for me, I come back more to like a M14 or something along those lines when we get into the 308 cartridge, but that's just me. Peter Ferragudo, great job on the Chief Special vid. Love your CS9. Good. And I still have my CS9. I really like that pistol. I've always liked that pistol. It'll probably never leave my collection, even though at this juncture there are other firearms that I carry more. It's just too nice a little pistol to ever let go. And where are we here? I got to look back down through the feed here. Uh-oh, just took a big jump there. So if I miss some of your comments, I apologize. You know, periodically I get into these situations where there are so many comments over here that I'm trying to find where I am, and it makes a big jump and I miss a bunch. So I apologize if I miss your comment. Pepper Dog says, thanks for all you do. Visit often and learn a lot. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Rescue 08 EMS. I am 2 weeks into the HR Funk diet. 2 months to go to drop 10 pounds. 2 months to drop 10 pounds. You motivate. Good. Good for you. Best of luck to you. I hope it works out well. Let me know how things end up. Mike Thomas says, pleased to see how well you're keeping the weight off. I'm down 30 pounds and counting. Good for you, Mike. Congratulations. Good job. Palindrome Pictures, loved your favorite Marlin vid. I've had many of the same models. If you haven't shot the Ruger number 1, I'd strongly recommend it. It's my favorite. I have never shot a Ruger number 1. I would like to. They're cool. I think it's interesting, that whole single shot genre, and it kind of fits into my thinking as a rifleman. Make every shot count. So sooner or later, I'll get around to shooting a Ruger number 1, but I've just not done so yet. Daryl Walton says, hi from Central Idaho. Hi, Daryl. Thanks for joining. My first issue handgun was a 4-inch Model 15. Cool, extremely classic handgun. Carried in addition to an M16A1 manufactured by Hydromatic. What a piece of junk. By the time it was issued to me. I'm sorry to hear about that. Pepper Dog says, hey from Texas. Thanks for joining, Pepper Dog. We're in Texas. I lived in Texas for a brief period of time. I went to the military police training when I was in the Marine Corps. It was located at Lackland Air Force Base. We went through the Air Force School. So that was in San Antonio, and I ended up living in Texas there for 3 or 4 months. Back, that would have been 1985, late summer and fall of 1985, I lived in Texas. Joe Morgan, I told ERJG the other day that I lost weight too, down 75 pounds. Good for you, Joe. Eating 2 meals a day, no snack or sugar. Worked out well. Good for you. Gary M says, Mr. Funk, what do you think about the caliber 327 mag pistol? Worth carrying or not? I really have no experience with that cartridge whatsoever. I've read some things about it. I've read some very positive things about it, but I have no personal experience, so I can't really talk about that. McFasto, you should do a federal qualification course roundup for a follow-up to the series. I've got some of the federal courses. I think I've got the FBI course. I've got the Federal Air Marshal's course. Seems like I've got 1 or 2 other ones. I don't think I have enough to do an entire series on that, but I'll probably throw one in every now and then just to do a standalone review of that course. And that'll be when I probably have like nothing else really going on. I'll throw in one of those courses just to do a review. Old Spice 1, waited for years to buy a Kel-Tec product. Also have a sub 2040 Smith & Wesson. Also the Bullpup shotgun functions flawlessly, although their P1722 also apparently own their P1722. Trust me, I owned at least 40 other firearms. Okay. And sooner or later, I'm going to get some more Kel-Tecs in. Like I said, I'm very interested in their line. 2A Dad, so what are we going to call Ruger-built Marlins? Margers? Ruglins? I don't know. I'm going to call them Marlins, and I'm again hoping for the best for that line. Chris Giampo is here. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Uh-oh. I just made a big jump there. AMF 1717 is here. Thanks for joining. And I'm just going to try to get down through here and figure out where we are. G. Vidaya says, hello, good sir. I'm still hunting for a 3-inch barrel Smith & Wesson revolver. Yeah, they're hard to find. There's a few of them out there. They are making the, 2 3/4, 2 7/8, something like that, version of the Model 66 these days. But it's not quite what the 3-inch Model 66 was back in the day. Travis Chapin says, I live in Pennsylvania. I know our state patrol is top notch. And again, just based on the qualification course I saw from Pennsylvania, I was very impressed by that. And Jeff Tim, is the 135 grain 40 Smith & Wesson easier to control than the 180 grain? Yes. I mean, it's a lighter bullet, lighter recoiling round. As to how much easier it is to control, that's probably very subjective, and it depends more on you as a shooter and what you're accustomed to recoil wise than it does, I think, actually the ammunition itself. Rick C says, enjoy your videos. Have you ever shot the CZ97? It's my favorite 45. No, I haven't. And I've had some people offer to loan me one to try out. Sooner or later, I'll get around to trying one of those, but so far I've not shot one. Old Spice, I'm having an old LEO. Retired last year with my Glock 23. Good for you. I'm glad you made it out. Good for you on retirement. Luciano Chavez is here from Brazil. Thanks for joining us, Luciano. And Ben Crane made a $5 donation. Thank you very much, Ben. I really, really appreciate that. Peter Ferragato is here. He says, thanks. You're welcome if you're talking to me. I'm not sure. You might be talking to one of the other folks here. Larry Knight, 29 years in law enforcement in Louisiana. Enjoyed your qualification videos. Also, your video on older rifles such as the Grand. Well, thank you very much, Larry. I appreciate that. And be careful down there. From the looks of your comment, you're still in law enforcement. Be careful, and wish you the best. McFasto says, recently picked up an M1A in 243, great shooter. Low data is non-existent, unfortunately. And 243 and an M1A is going to be a little bit of an odd pairing there. Better get rid of the Remington R51. No, I still have it. It's kind of a novelty in my collection. I'm keeping it more or less as a curio. Maybe 20 years from now, 50 years from now, something I'll be able to hold it up as the firearm that killed Remington. And let me see where we are here. A lot of conversations going on amongst all of you with each other. Mike Thomas, got to feed the wife and kids. Good night, y'all. Good night, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the support. I appreciate it. Jack's House 28, greetings from Southern Illinois. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. From Southern Indiana. Or excuse me, Southern Illinois. Average guy, have an AR-10T, national match M14. My way to go would be the national match, just because I went distinguished with it with the M14. And I really like the M14 platform. Of course, it's a improvement on the M1 Garand. I like shooting the M1. I like shooting the M14. I mean, I like the AR-15/M16 too, but there's just something about those old wood and steel rifles that makes them special. Pistol Pete, what will we call Colt after CZ? CZ old, yeah. I have to come up with something. 2A Metalhead is here. Says he made it. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. And I'm just looking to see where we are here. Steel and wood. Chief, what are your best tips for long-range shootings? The things that matter the most when preparing or making the shot. Maybe that could be a whole video. Probably could be a whole video. My best tips for long-range shooting. Be in a solid position. Be mindful of your trigger control and your sight picture. Make sure you're using the best ammunition you can for your rifle and the ammunition you're most familiar with. I think it's important to really have a good feel for the trajectory of whatever you're shooting, rather than try to find something necessarily with the absolute flattest trajectory out there. Just make sure you're intimately familiar with the trajectory of the ammunition you're shooting so you can place it where you want it. And again, I'm going to go down through here and figure out where we are. 2A Metalhead, anyone from North Carolina? I am not. AMF 1717 just added a Smith & Wesson Victory model to the collection. I'm assuming you mean one of the new 22s, not one of the older revolvers. If it's one of the older revolvers, that's really cool. Kevin Tweed says, hello, HR Funk from Pennsylvania. Liked your video from the Pennsylvania law enforcement qualifications. It helped me get ready for my ACT 235 fight. Good. I'm glad it did. I really am always glad to hear that those videos helped people, whether it's helping them pass a qualification or helping them improve their own firearms training. That's really one of the best compliments I can get on that series. KJ Stanley says, I've been looking for a Springfield SOCOM 16 and can't find one anywhere. You're not alone. Right now, there are various firearms, that being one, that are just almost non-existent. Carly Pope from 71-year-old CCW, learn a lot from you. Carry more than I shoot. Plan on getting a laser trainer. Keep the skills up to date. Good. Daryl Walton picked up a Marlin 94 CB and 45 Colt. Good. Says he loves it. Still shooting the M1A after the experience with the National Match M14 back in the 70s when Uncle Sugar was still footing the ammo bill. Art Grote is here. Thanks for joining us, Art. Appreciate it. All right. I think I'm actually caught up for a moment in the comments. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to take a little bit of a sip of some Jim Beam there, just to try to refresh my voice a little bit. And Pat Riot says, I love your channel. New firearm user. How do you feel about using a Taurus TX22 for EDC/self-defense? I'm not a huge fan of the TX22. I did a review on one a while back. I know a lot of people really, really like that pistol. I'm just not one of them. If it works well for you and you feel comfortable with it and confident with it, then by all means carry it. I'm not going to tell you not to. But I'm just not a huge fan of that pistol myself. Steel and Wood says 357 or 38 is nearly impossible to find ammo. That's true. And so much ammo is difficult to find today. I went out to the range today. I was going to try to record a midweek update, and that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. I was trying to put together a one 50-round box of ammo training video with some suggested drills to get the most out of your one box of training. And I had some technical difficulties and was not able to complete that video. So I apologize for that. Ben Crane is probably going to chime in here and say that was his idea, because it was. And Ben, I did try to record that video today. I just was not able to do it. So I apologize for that. And where are we here? Busta Malaka 1 says, is the 45 gap, sorry about that, still in law enforcement use since NYSP switched to the G21? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the 45 gap in a long time. I don't know if anyone's still using that or not. Ben Crane says, when are we having the Friends of Funk Range Day? I would still like to do that. that's one of those things that's gone to the back burner. I would love to do that and bring people together. So many of you that I only know by your comments online or your name. I would love to bring you here and get everyone together for a day on the range, but I have not actually moved forward toward putting that together yet. Travis Chapin, Chief, you got some whiskey? I'll share a beer with you someday if you. That's cool with me. I like a good beer every now and then. Steel and Wood says Joe Morgan. Okay, he's talking to Joe Morgan. Palindrome Pictures says Remington ammo is back in production, so hopefully ammo will get better soon. Hopefully, and I've said this before. I think ammunition is slowly starting to come back, and let's hope it keeps moving that direction. AMF 1717. Hey HR, Smith & Wesson got the Smith & Wesson I got was a Victory model revolver. Cool. That's extremely cool. You know, if the serial number can give me an idea of when it was made. Also have a new Victory 22. Yes, and I've got I've got 2 or 3 standard catalogs of Smith & Wesson. And if I knew the serial number, I could probably look that up and at least give you an idea of the time that was made. But anybody that's got those can refer back, and they should be able to help you out with that. J-Rock 242, you need to get a SIG P365 XL. It's a great firearm. No problems with mine. And I've heard lots of good things about the SIG 365. I've got a Hellcat that I really, really like, which is sort of the main competitor with the 365. But sooner or later, I'll get around to shooting one of those just so I can compare them and see what I think of them. Rick C, inventory is spotty, but you can buy direct. Okay, looks like he must be talking to someone else. Jeff Tim went shopping on Saturday in Walmart, saw a couple of boxes of 7.62 by 54R. Wow. And GT distributors saw some boxes of 762 by 39. I'm kind of surprised by that. Ben Roybal just bought a Smith & Wesson 686 3-inch model. Very excited to shoot it. His first 357 Magnum revolver. By the way, love your channel, love your videos. Thank you very much, Ben. Thanks for watching. Enjoy that new revolver. Louis VRO, Louis Fro. Not sure how to pronounce that. Hey, really enjoying this stream so far. Can you give a shout out to my friend Nick Gurr, who's watching too? Sure. Hi to Lewis and hi to Nick. Thanks for watching. Busta Malacca, Walmart has a 3-box limit on ammunition. And I have a feeling that's regional because I'm not sure what the limit is here. Last time I looked at the ammunition in Walmart, there wasn't very much there. Rich Powers giving a thumbs up to the range day. Chris Giampo, would be cool to meet at Camp Perry for friends of HR. That would be cool. How cool would that be to have everyone meet at Camp Perry? I don't know how I could pull that off, but that would be a lot of fun. Jeff Sam says, looks like we might have a troll in the house. That could be. Whoever it is will probably leave. Jerry McGuire, enjoy watching your videos. I enjoy watching your videos are about both practical concerns of gun ownership and enthusiasm about the history of firearms. That's, yeah. And thank you, Jeremy, for saying that. I really try to emphasize the fun aspect of firearms ownership and shooting. And I try to balance that with kind of a historical perspective and also with sort of a practical aspect. You never know quite what you're going to see on one of my videos. You know, one time it might be a black powder firearm. Next time it might be a law enforcement qualification video. Next time it might be some sort of long range shooting video with rifles. And I do that purposely to show sort of my interest in firearms, because I am really interested in all those different areas, and I like to share that with all of you, and I'm glad so many of you enjoy it. And now I got to find where I was. Patriot Preacher, in your opinion, will the military or LEO ever side with the Constitution? I think yes. I think when push comes to shove, both law enforcement and the military, at least the majority on both ends, are going to honor their oath to support and defend the Constitution, rather than blindly following the people that are in various bureaucratic positions. At least that's my feeling and my belief. Matt Johnston, what's the most efficient zombie dispatching firearm? Probably a Ruger 1022. You don't need much with a zombie. Booster Malacca, the Hellcat definitely is very reliable when compared to the SIG 365. You can find a 10,000 round test on the Hellcat. Okay. And I think that's up on the Springfield Armory website, if I remember. James Ailes says he can handle Camp Perry. I love going to Camp Perry. It's about about a 2-hour drive from my house, give or take. And what a great place to go to. It's just tremendous history there. It's just something to think about, the people that have been there, and the competitions over the years since 1907 that have taken place there. It's just tremendous to be there and experience that. And where am I here? Average guy. My dad bought a Smith & Wesson Model 10 in 1966. It was new in box. I have it now, and I shoot it. Good for you. Great classic old revolver. I can remember law enforcement officers back in the day carrying Model 10s. Just a tremendous old revolver with well over 100 years of history now. Dan Langston, appreciated your review of the Masada. I really like my Masada, and I am surprised they don't get more attention than they do. Just a great pistol. Alconium, love to wrap up of all the state's qualification. I know you're probably going to wait a little before doing any more of the challenges. Are there any federal or global ones that you're excited for? I'm looking forward to doing some of the federal courses. I really want to do some of the international ones. I've got a course from Canada. I've got a course from the UK. I've got one from, I think, Sweden. So those should be fun. And just when I get time, I'll throw those in. Carmen Schuler is here. Thanks for joining, Carmen. Alconium, any interest in doing some videos of your general training, some drills? I really wish I could have completed that video today where I was doing the one box training. And like I said, I ran into some technical difficulties and could not finish that. But sooner or later, I'll get that out, and hopefully you'll all like that. Darren Cox, just stopping in for a second to say your videos are very professional and have great content. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Darren. I appreciate that. James Ailes, and what is the Space Force for? I'm glad you. Yeah, I've got a Space Force sticker behind me. I just think they're funny. It's cool. We have a new branch of the military. It's an extension of the Air Force, started by our last president. So I just think it's kind of cool. I've got a couple of stickers, and I like to display those. James Ailes, zombies, Mossberg 590. Yeah, that'll do the job. Matt Johnston, Kamala is giving kids crossings at the border pamphlets with her. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Fox News, I think this morning. Ben Crane, 4 hours to Camp Perry. For me, I mean, how cool would that be? I don't know how I could get that as far as like actually being able to go out there and shoot. You know, that's run by CMP and the Ohio National Guard, but man, that would be cool. Kevin Tweed, in your opinion, which firearm do you prefer from your law enforcement life and civilian life? What would you prefer to carry for everyday use? My M&Ps are the ones that I used most frequently for the last probably third of my law enforcement career, and I really like those. I have a lot of favorites. It's interesting. During my last few weeks as chief of police, I kind of cycled back through a lot of the firearms that I carried historically, mostly for nostalgic purposes. But truthfully, for practical purposes, my M&Ps, and especially my M&P core that I had outfitted with the Loophole Delta Point Pro that I carried for the last couple of years of my career, would be the most practical for all purposes at this juncture. Average guy, my son got a can for his Walther 22. Thinks it's the best stuff since since peanut butter. Yeah, a lot of people really like the suppressors, silencers, whatever, which is great. I mean, that's fine. It's sort of the latest greatest cool thing. But I mean, for the people that like them, great. Especially, I don't want to go through the legal hoops to be able to own that type of a thing. Jeff Sams, love my Masada and my Jericho. I've never shot a Jericho. I'd like to shoot one of those someday. To a metalhead, will confirm that the Masada got about a month ago. Oh, we'll confirm on the Masada. Got one about a month ago. Good. I really like that pistol, and I like the trigger on it, especially because it feels like a short, somewhat light double action revolver. I just really like that pistol. And where are we here? Mr. Lincoln, do you have a 1911? I've got 6 or 7 1911s. Eric Maggard, hello from a fellow Ohioan here. Glad to see you live streaming. Thanks for joining, Eric. Appreciate you being here. McFasto, how would someone send you a course and a target for some of your quals that you don't have? The easiest way is I can give you an email address. If you go to one of my videos, just send me a comment on one of the videos. I'll send you an email address, and through that, I can get you the information on how to send me a course. General Nutmeg, why do you think the 1911 is so popular in the U.S.? Oh my Lord. Many reasons. Let's start with John Moses Browning, and then we'll jump to, it was the service pistol for 75 years that took us through World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. I mean, it's the one that everyone's father came back from the war and told them about. That's the firearm they carried. In its modern day incarnations, it's extremely accurate. It has a tremendous trigger. It's just a classic design. I mean, there are millions of reasons that the 1911 is so popular. And where are we here? How do you like your Alien Gear Shapeshift holster so far? Have you thought about? I have thought about getting one and wonder what you think after using it. I really like it. In fact, it's right behind me here. Yeah. sit there, set up and ready to go to work tomorrow. And the more I carry that thing and the more I use it, the more I like it. It's just a great system. If you saw the video that I did just a couple of days ago, you know that I'm a big fan of it. And everything in that I said in that video still holds true. 1950 Argy, enjoy your videos, very informative. Keep up the good work. Will do. Thanks for watching. And I'm going to zip down through these comments quick. Jeremy McGuire, how about a comparison of lever action rifles, accuracy, reliability, price? The ranking is purely based on fun. That might be fun. That might be a good idea. I'll keep that in mind. 18 wins again. Good evening, HR. Just saying hello from Southern Virginia. Been a sub for many years. I know you have. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Wow, we're over an hour already. I didn't realize we've been going that long. Kevin Tweed says, I'm not sure. Okay. It says, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, folks. I hate to cut this short, but it's probably about time for me to start thinking about something else here. Just a reminder, part of the reason I was doing the live stream this evening is because I'm not going to have a Wednesday video this week, and I'm not going to have a video next weekend. If you missed the first stream, my daughter's junior prom next weekend, my son's getting married, and I'm going to be very, very busy. So unfortunately, I'm not going to have a video coming up for probably a week or so, but don't worry, they're going to be back. I just have to get some more time to be able to do those kind of things. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for joining me this evening. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks to all of my subscribers. Thank you to my channel members. You are tremendous. I keep saying this over and over and over again. I have the best viewers on YouTube. I don't have the most, but I have the best, and that's all of you. It's a testament to all of you. I am proud of the group of subscribers that I have. I don't know if I can fully express how much I appreciate all the support and all of the comments and the sentiments and everything that I get from all of you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll do this again someday. Sooner or later, I'll put together that range day. And until next time, everyone, good shooting. Bye-bye.